Right? Okay. Oh. Online students, is the screen is visible? Online students can respond in the chat window. All the online students can respond in the chat window. Okay, right. Let's complete on that. So the one we need to get start working with Selenium automation. The very first thing we got understand that in taking care about this automation real-time process, right? I mean, what exactly mean by automation testing and what make you drawbacks of manual testing when we need to get start automation testing. So that is what we need to get mentioning about taking with all the previous concepts here, right? So the first understanding, what is mean by manual testing? Meaning of manual testing. Testing done by human interactions. Meaning of automation testing. Testing done by the tool. When we can start automation testing? When we can start automation testing? When we can start automation testing? Regression phase, or we can consider regression testing. Because of having the manual test cases, we are not starting with automation testing. If we want to get start with automation testing, manual test cases required, but not like just because of manual testing. I mean, just because of manual test cases are available, we cannot go with automation testing here. So we need to begin taking care about in considering the first understanding. When to start automation testing? We need to begin start automation testing in regression phase. At the same time, as simple as once you are having more number of regression test cases, well, think about automation testing, not like conforming the automation testing. To conform or to decide automation testing, your application need to be get satisfied with two conditions. What are the two conditions? What are the two conditions? Prerequisite or preconditions to start automation testing. First one is application should be stable. Second one is test case steps, not test cases. Test case steps should be freezed. So once your application has been satisfied these two preconditions, then we can decide that or we can confirm that in starting with automation testing here. So once you decide or once you confirm to start automation testing, then you need to get decide with the tool. How the tool will be decided? How you will decide automation tool? Based on POC or tool evaluation. Based on POC or taking with tool evaluation, you will be getting deciding with the tool here. So that is how the tool will be decided. I mean, having that client meeting and then after that, the client and manager and TL, all these particular people will have multiple discussion and then it will be getting decided with the tool here. So once it has been decided with the tool, next we need to get start working with that particular tool. So as part of our requirement, we decided that to get work with Selenium. So now, as part of our project or as part of our requirement, we need to be taking care about having with. We need to be taking care about having with these particular Selenium tool and need to be start developing automation script. Now we can see that according to our understanding, what is the meaning of Selenium? No, meaning of Selenium. Meaning of Selenium is one API having group of components here. Selenium is one API having group of components here. In that we mentioned that we got mentioned that Selenium IDE and then considering that Selenium RC. After that mentioning about Selenium WebDriver and then mentioning that Selenium Grid. So as simple as we used to be mentioning that Selenium is one API having group of components here. It's not like just one particular tool or anything. So it is just having a different type of components here. Every component is an individual component. There is no way of connectivity. It is not having any connectivity. Every component is an individual component here. In that, the first understanding of Selenium IDE, the first understanding of Selenium IDE. What is the functionality of Selenium IDE? Record and playback. The functionality of Selenium IDE, we need to be mentioning that record and playback here. So I mean, by using Selenium IDE also, you can consider like one small tool. Selenium is one automation tool we can mention, but this particular Selenium, it's not like an individual component here. It is having with the group of component. All the components are individual. It's not like if you learn Selenium IDE or if you install Selenium IDE, you can work with other things here. Every component is an individual component. Every component is an individual component here. So in this, the use of the Selenium IDE, functionality of Selenium IDE is you can install, if required, we can install Selenium IDE. We can open that particular Selenium IDE. Once we got open the Selenium IDE, we can click on the record, then you can perform all the steps in the browser. It will record all the steps here. Once it got recorded, you can continue doing with playback of that particular step. As simple as the best understanding in your mobile, having the option of record and playback. So just you can record it and you can play back it. But is that you can edit that voice? Once you record, is that you can edit that voice? No. In general, we cannot edit. So what it got recorded, just you can play back that. Selenium IDE also, same concept. You can record it and you can play back of that. That will be considered Selenium IDE. So while working Selenium IDE, we got a drawback. What is the drawback? Programming. So while working Selenium IDE, we cannot go with programming. If you want to write any loops or if you want to write any conditions, any kind of programming activities you want to perform, you cannot perform any kind of programming activity. Selenium IDE has been used purely related to just record and playback. You can record with the script and you can play back that particular script. You cannot perform any kind of programming activity. To get overcome that, we are using Selenium RC. The functionality of Selenium RC. What is the functionality? Programming. The functionality of Selenium RC, we can consider that programming. So while working Selenium RC, we can implement all the programming activities. While working with the Selenium RC, we can implement all the programming activities. But we got a drawback. What is the drawback? Client and server. While working this particular Selenium RC, we got a drawback of client and server. Don't be confused here. In general, the meaning of client and server, client is one system, server is one more system. But while working Selenium RC, it's not like a system. The client can consider one browser. As part of your Selenium RC programming, you need to be get right with the code. You need to be get right with the code in starting with the client. At the same time, you need to be get writing with the code to get start with server. You need to write in a code to start with the client browser, and you need to write in a code to start with server browser. By the end of the program, you need to be get write in a code in stopping with browser related to the client. At the same time, you need to be get write a code in stopping with browser related to server. As simple as while working with Selenium RC. If you are working on Selenium RC as a automation tester, we have to take care about in writing with the code related to the client and related to server. Is that we are implementing automation testing only for one browser? Sorry. Is that we implement automation testing only for one test case? Just to automate only one test case or 10 test cases, you will go with automation? No. So in case of that one test case or 10 test cases, manually you can easily do it here. When you want to get automate some thousands of test cases, if you want to get automate some thousands of test cases, we need to be taking care about in implementing with automation testing. So here in thousands of test cases, in all the test cases, taking care about client and taking care about server, writing that code, that will become an extra activity here. Because of that, to overcome this particular problem, we need to be taking with another component. What is that component? Selenium WebDriver. So here, if we consider this Selenium RC, we can consider that Selenium RC, or we can consider Selenium 1.0. We can consider Selenium RC, or we can consider Selenium 1.0. I mean, sometimes the interviewer will ask a question. Do you have any knowledge on Selenium 1.0 or Selenium 1? What you will mention? If interviewer is asking that, do you have any knowledge on Selenium 1? What you will mention? Interviewer will ask a question, do you have knowledge on Selenium 1 or not? What you will mention? Yes. Okay, very perfect. That is outdated. Selenium RC is outdated. It should not be mentioning that S here. As simple as already mentioned that Selenium IDE and then Selenium RC. Both the things are outdated. In this current market, there is no concept of Selenium IDE and no concept of Selenium RC. Both the things are outdated. If they're asking about Selenium RC or asking about Selenium 1.0 or Selenium 1, both are same here. So to overcome all these particular problem, we need to be taking care about. To get overcome all these particular problem, we need to be taking care about this particular Selenium WebDriver. Functionality of Selenium WebDriver. Functionality of Selenium WebDriver. Considering the programming. Functionality of Selenium WebDriver, we need to be considering the programming. While working Selenium WebDriver, there is no concept of client and then there is no concept of server. While working with the Selenium WebDriver, there is no concept of client and there is no concept of server. Everything WebDriver will be taking care of it. You doesn't require to write any code related to the client and related to the server. That is totally outdated here. Okay. So now we have to take care about working with Selenium WebDriver. By using the Selenium WebDriver, we need to be taking care about implementing all the programming. This Selenium WebDriver, Selenium RC, we consider as Selenium 1. In case of WebDriver, considering the Selenium 2. Selenium 2 is considering as a Selenium WebDriver. After that, it has been updated. It has been updated with 3.0. After that, it has been updated with 3.0. Recently, it has been updated with Selenium 4.0. So previously Selenium 2, after that Selenium 3, now Selenium 4. Still in the market, in most of the projects, we used to implement with Selenium 3 only, but we got an option of working with Selenium 3 and then taking with Selenium 4. While working this particular Selenium 4, we got 4.1 and we got 4.2 and 4.3 and then consider 4.4. Currently, the very latest one, you can consider that 4.4. This 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, very regularly it will update. Today I am saying that 4.4, By tomorrow morning in the Selenium website, you can see that Selenium 4.5. So that will be updating regularly. That we are not worried, but that Selenium 4 will be the constant here. So because of that, in case of version has been updated, so don't get considered like any of the new things has been done. As Selenium tool is considered open source. Is that open source or paid tool? Selenium is open source or paid tool? Selenium is considered as a open source here. As it is considering as a open source, very regularly you will be able to see that features will get added. Because of that, you will see the difference in the version. So don't get worried about on that. So for now, we are taking care about. For now, we are taking care about in working with Selenium 4. That is what it will be considered Selenium WebDriver. Apart from that, you got a grid also. If required, it will work. Otherwise, not like mandatory. This particular Selenium grid. What is the use of the Selenium grid? What is the use of the Selenium grid? To execute automation scripts in multiple system, or it will be considering the multiple browser. At a time, you want to be get open that multiple browsers and multiple system. Then you want to be get execute, it will be taking with Selenium grid. So we are not worried about all the things here. Our requirement is, our main requirement is need to be get understanding Selenium WebDriver. Our main requirement is we need to be get understanding Selenium WebDriver. This Selenium WebDriver, this particular Selenium WebDriver, we need to be get. This particular Selenium WebDriver, we need to be get working with the help of the project. The Selenium WebDriver we are learning with the help of the project here. So that is what we are taking with automation testing with the help of the project. Manual testing, we done with one project. What is a project we done? Manual testing. What is a project we done? So we done with adapting. In a similar way, this automation testing also, we need to be get taking with the help of one project and need to be get understood how we can implement. So we need to be get understood how we can implement that particular project. In that we are taking with the help of the project. We are taking with the help of the project here. So in that you need to be get taking care about. In that you need to be get taking care about this particular project URL. So in that you need to be get taking care about all these particular project URL. That particular project we need to be get considering the HRMS. That project you need to be get consider. That project you need to be get consider taking with project name, considering the HRMS. Meaning of HRMS? Human Resource Management System. The meaning of HRMS need to be get considering the Human Resource Management System. So we need to be get taking care about considering the human resource management system. Related to this, we need to be taking this particular application. We need to be taking with the help of this application and need to be automated. Just have that credentials. Online students also, if not, you can have that credentials. The same thing available, the same thing it has been available in that particular Google Classroom. I got provided in Google Classroom. Okay. At the same time, if you want, just you can make a note of it. Okay. Right. So now what you need to do is that URL you can access on it, which you will be taking with both the URLs I provided, testing URL, live URL. Application is same. Application is same. You will be having slight difference in the UI. Functionality is same. As it is live URL, you will be able to see with the slight difference here. For the practice purpose, you can utilize the testing URL, that application we deployed in the Naresh IT server. Sometimes chances are there, in case of Naresh IT server, this updation is going on, you will not be able to access that live URL. So because of that, you can go with utilizing with the live URL. Maximum the testing URL will be working. Sometimes there may be a chances if it is not working it for the time being, you can continue with live URL also here. So for now, we are taking with the help of this testing URL and need to be working with. You need to be work with this particular application. Now we can see here. So the URL have been provided in the Google Classroom. It will be available. Okay. Now, considering this particular application, if we get mentioning about taking with, if we get consider this particular application, just you can enter the URL. Okay. Just you can enter the URL. In your system, you need to open the browser, not like in Google. If I type in Google, it will not open because it got installed in our Naresh IT server. Because of that, in Google, if you type it, it cannot open. Open the browser and then enter that address in the correct way. That server address 183.82, that server address you need to enter correctly. After that, taking with the username. Right. Right. So that particular username and password, if we get look into that particular username and password, what will be the username we will enter? Username is Naresh IT in a small letters. What is the password we will enter? Naresh IT in a small letter. Username you need to be provide in a small letters as a Naresh IT, and password also you need to be provide in a small letters as a Naresh IT. So you need to be get taking into the small letters only. Both username and password is same, not like any difference here. You need to be get provide everything into small letters only. Okay. Right. Now we can say that once you're done with login, once you're done with the login, lot of modules will be there. This application, it's not like in a very small application. This is not like into a very small application. You will be having lot of modules will be there, but based on your time comfortable, just you can see that trying to work with some modules, at least admin module, PAM and leave module. I mean, you got application URL, a given application URL. As you are having the application, you can start writing the test cases also. Right, taking with the same thing. You can follow the same template for adapting application. Whatever the templates we followed, that folder structure, everything you can get followed with the same, and then you can start working on it here. Just see that you can write some test cases related to this particular application. By that you will become in a more comfortable in working with writing with the test cases for the different kind of applications here. So now we are taking care about in automating these particular applications. And the one important thing I'm clearly mentioning that you got username and password. What is the username and password? What is the username and password? Naresh IT and Naresh IT. So which it will be taking with username and password is Naresh IT in a small letters here. So once you provide that, which you will be taking the login. Once you're done with the login, don't try to change the password here. Don't execute that particular test case. I know that you guys are developers only, very much interested in seeing that password will change or not. If you guys are changing with the password, that will become a lot of problem for me. Don't give any work for Suresh sir here. Already Suresh sir having lot of work is there. You guys again don't create any work here. In case if we try to do or if it done also, I can easily trace that who is the culprit here. Because you are using the URL. That URL is related to Naresh IT. So the application is deployed in the Naresh IT server. In that particular Naresh IT server, we are already generating the log. In that particular log, we are printing with system IP address. Which system is accessing this URL? That IP address already printing in the log. By having that IP address, we can identify your hostel address also. That kind of technology is there. Because of that, you guys don't try to get change with the password. As I given with the option, so just you can do with login and you can explore that particular project. What are all the functionalities are there related to this particular application. So now we need to get start automating this particular application. You may get in a doubt, sir, we are already done adapting application. We are already written test cases also. why can't I can continue with same project? Why again taking with the new project? So why again new project? Experience certificate. Different experience. Adapting application, you guys are very well knowing all the functionality. So why can't you can continue with the same project? Why we need to take with the new project? What is the reason? Online students. So because of Selenium. Say, okay, one is manual project, one is Selenium project. But two developers only. You guys has been written with the second question. What is the second question you written on the day? What is it? Preconditions. Preconditions to start automation testing. What are the preconditions to start automation testing? Application should be stable and testing case step should be freeze. So once your application is satisfying with these two conditions, then only we can go with automation testing. The meaning of application should be stable. What is the meaning of that? Application should be stable. What is the meaning of that? Constant, as simple as defects free. We should not be having more number of defects here. In case if you're having more number of defects, if you're having more number of defects in the application, that is not like suitable for automation. So considering that this particular project adapting, is that we don't have any bugs in the application? In the adapting, is that we don't have any bugs in the application? Having the bugs or not? In adapting, bugs are there or not? So a lot of bugs are there. Because of that, it is not suitable. Because of that, it is not suitable in considering that taking with doing with the automation. For that particular purpose, we are not preferred that particular application which we will be taking with another application which is having less number of bugs in that application. So that is the reason we are taking with the help of this particular project, and then we need to get start developing with automation script. So let's see that how exactly we can start developing an automation script. Hello? Already informed Jason, they will be ready with all the things. Just now Bob could right. See that. So considering that, which need to be get mentioning about taking this particular project, we are automating it. So that particular project, we need to be get mentioning about that particular project. We need to be get taking care about with the help of WebDriver. By using WebDriver, we need to be get start automating that application. Any application, it will be getting followed with same concept only. Now, our requirement is we need to be get start writing with the program. We need to be get start writing with the program by using Selenium WebDriver. You guys are already knowing Java programming. So how to write that Java programs, you are already knowing. In a similar way, we need to get start right with the programs in Selenium WebDriver. If we want to get start, if we want to get start right with the programs in Selenium WebDriver. If you want to get start right with the programs in Selenium WebDriver, you have to take care about two things here. So don't be confused. Requirement is you need to get start writing the program in Selenium WebDriver. If you want to get start right with the programs in Selenium WebDriver, you have to take care about two things here. In that, the one it will be considered object identification, or you can consider that element locators, object identification or taking with element locators. So one is object identification, or we can consider element locators. So first, you guys need to get comfortable. How you can identify particular object or taking with particular element here. In a similar way, we need to get considering that. In a similar way, you need to get considering that core Java. So if we got comfortable with these two things, it will make you more easy and it will make you more comfortable. It will make you more easy and it will make you more comfortable in writing with the program in Selenium WebDriver. So it will make you more comfortable in writing with the programs in Selenium WebDriver. So requirement is you need to get start write the programs in WebDriver. To write the program in WebDriver, you need to get comfortable working with object identification or taking with element locators. Another one, core Java. So here, core Java, I'm not discussing it. That part you are already knowing. We'll get comfortable with object identification, and then we'll be getting started writing with Selenium programs here. So further, take with the main heading is object identification, or you can mention the element locators. Take with the main heading is object identification, or you can mention the element locators. Okay, taking with object identification, or you can considering the element locators. So now this is what one of the most important concept need to be understood as part of automation testing, or as part of automation tester. You may work with Selenium tool, or you may work with QTP tool. Any tool you can work. It's mandatory that we have to identify the object. What exactly mean by all these things? Let's see here. So what exactly mean by all these things? Let's see that. considering that, to identify object in Selenium, you will be taking with inspect option. To identify objects in Selenium, we are taking with the help of inspect option. While working this particular inspect, we got 8 types of techniques. Make a note of that. Online students also make a note of that. Considering the name and then taking with ID, mentioning the class and then consider XPath. Considering the XPath. After that, tag name and then CSS and mention the link text and then mentioning the partial link text. So online students also make a note of these things here. So mentioning the object identification under the inspect option. While working with the inspect, we got 8 types of techniques. So just make a note of that 8 types. Name, ID, class, XPath, tag name, CSS, link text, partial link text. Online students also make a note of these things. Okay, right. So now we need to be get understanded. Utilizing these particular option to identify the object. What exactly mean by this? What exactly the meaning of object identification? What is this concept? Let's see that. As simple as let's consider a very general example. Assume that you got group of 100 people. Just assume that you got in a group of 100 people. In a group of 100 people, how you can call the person? In a group of 100 people, you need to be called only one particular person. So how you will be calling the person? I will call the person by using name. By default, you will be trying with name. When you tried with the name, unfortunately, you got 30 people with the same name. What is the total members? 100. In 100 people, how many people you are calling? Only one person. When you are calling with the only one person, you got tried with the name. When you tried with the name, you got 30 people with the same name. Then what you will do? Surname. Okay, perfect. When you tried with the surname, you got 20 people with the same surname. Chances are there. Okay, you tried with the ID. Because of some reason, you got 10 people with the same ID. Aadhaar card number. Nowadays, Aadhaar card number also duplicate. Special word. Okay. As simple as, what is the first option you tried? What is the first option? Name. In case when you tried with the name, if we got only one person, is that you will try with another name? I mean another option? No. When you are going with another option? When you are going with another option? In case of if we got a multiple people with the same name here. If we got only one person, you are not tried with another option. In case if we got a multiple person, then you will be taking with another option. Your automation also same concept. Your automation also same concept. You can see that considering that text box is one person, you can understand like text box is one person, label is one person, this image is one person, this text is one more person. Consider like group of persons here. Rather than calling as a person, because of technical, we are using the terminology is object or element. Text box is one object and then taking with button is one object. So in the application, all these things are considered as a objects. In the application, all these things are considering as a objects here. So now in this application, is that we got only one object? Is that we got only one object? No. So text box is one object, button is one object, image, everything, group of objects are there. So in a group of objects, your requirement is you have to identify one particular object. Same as your previous example. So you got 100 people. In 100 people, how many persons you are calling? Only one person. Here also, group of objects are there. According to the requirement, you are calling only one particular object. To call that particular object in Selenium, what is the first option you were trying? What is the first option? Name. When you tried with the name, if you got only one object, no issues at all. In case of if you got multiple objects with the same name, then what you will do? What you will do? ID also not working. Then class. You tried with name, you tried with ID, you tried with class. Still not working. Then you will be taking with XPath. These four options very regularly will be working. If all these four options are not working, what is another option you'll try? Taking with tag name. So you can understand why Selenium guys provided these many options here. If this is also not working, CSS also not working, link text also not working, partial link text also not working. Partial link text also not working. As simple as close the system and go to Inorbit Mall. Knowing about Inorbit Mall? Knowing or not? Where is available? Google. Inorbit Mall is available in High-Tech City. Okay. So basically the people, whenever that IT people is not having the nearest shopping, they will be doing that mall here. They will go to that Inorbit Mall, they will do the shopping and then they'll come back here. Okay. So here, when you consider these options here, your requirement is you have to identify the object. To get identify that particular object, you are trying with one option. If one option is not working, you need to try with another option here. So we need to work with these particular options here. To work with these particular option, now requirement is I want to get identify. I want to get identify this particular I want to be get identify this username text box. See the understanding. Requirement is we need to be get recognize this text box. As a automation tester, we have to identify this particular text box. Let's see that. To identify this text box, we got different option. Now, we need to identify username. To identify this username text box, first we'll understand name technique and then taking with ID and then taking with class. First we'll understand these three particular options. After that, we'll go with another things. Now, see the very simple understanding. Requirement is need to be get identify the object. To identify the object, we required name details. We have to understand that what is the name of this text box. As an automation tester, we have to know that what is the name of the text box. So what is the name of this text box? Login text box. Is it the name? No. Now we can see how you can get this information. Let's take your previous understanding, our previous example. Very simple understanding. How many people you got? 100 people. In 100 people, how many people you have to call? Only one person. How you are calling the person? By name. Now see my doubt here. My doubt is, how you are calling the person? How you are calling? By name. Okay, that is perfectly okay. Now my doubt is, how you guys will be knowing what is the name of that person? Getting the question? Assume that 100 people are there. You are one person in that 100 people. Now you have to call one person. If you want to call one person, by default you will call with the name. Now my doubt is, how you guys will be knowing what is the name of that particular person? Is it by birth you guys will be knowing all the people person names? Is it that extra talent is there? No, right? Then what are the options? What are the options, guys? Which list? Registration. Okay. Still? On the first day when you join this training program, you guys doesn't know each and together, right? And after that, slowly you guys has been becoming an friends here. On the first day, is that you guys are knowing what are the names of other person? No. After that, you will get to know. So how you got to know that what is the name of that person? What you done? Two things you will be doing here. As simple as two techniques you can follow. One technique is, as having 100 people, you can call another person saying that, suppose that person is looking very handsome, what is the name of that person? One option here. What is another option? Direct attack here. Directly you can ask that person only, boss, looks like you are spending lot of time in the gym. You are looking more handsome in the 100 people. What is your name? Two options you tried it. What is the first option? What is the first option, guys? Taking the help of another person. What is the second option? Direct attack here. That is because of human beings. But this is the tool here. Now, we need to be ask this particular Selenium tool. We need to be ask the Selenium tool what exactly name of this text box. So directly we cannot get. So to whom we need to be asked is, so here, apart from the Selenium, for the Selenium, best friend is there. For the Selenium, who is the best friend? Suresh Sara. For the Selenium, one best friend is there. Now tester. WebDriver is Selenium. For that Selenium WebDriver, who is the best friend? Java is wife here. Selenium and Java, wife and husband. What is it? HTML. HTML is the very best friend, not only friend. Which friend? Which friend? So this Selenium and HTML are both our best friends here. So as simple as if you want to be get taking with, if you want to be get this object's information, to get the name information, you will be taking with the help of HTML code. So don't worry, like again you have to do the course of HTML code. Anyway, that already were doing it. Done? Whatever it can be. So we are not worried about on that. As part of the Selenium, you doesn't require to write your HTML code. The whole HTML training program in a simple way you can understand in the two things here. One, you have to understand less than symbol. Another one, you have to understand equal symbol. So the meaning of less than symbol? In HTML, meaning of less than symbol. What is it? This is considering as a HTML tag. According to the HTML, anything started with the less than symbol need to be get considering the HTML tag. And then having with equal symbol. Meaning of equal symbol? Meaning of equal symbol? Assigning is Java. We are not in Java, HTML. According to the HTML, the meaning of equal symbol is attribute. So now we can see here. Now we can see the understanding. Just we can go to the application. Whatever the application you want to automate, you can go to that application. Just do the right click. Just do the right click. What is option you will get? What is option you will get? Inspect. Click on the inspect. Once you click on the inspect, what you will get? What you will get? HTML code you will get. You doesn't require to write any code. You are not worried about in writing the code. Just you have to understand that. Just you have to understand that. What exactly that HTML code. We are not worried about all the code also. As simple as anything started less than symbol. What will consider? Tag. What is the tag name we got? HTML. What is another tag name? Head. What is another tag name? Body. What is another tag name? No script. What is another tag name? Table. Having equal symbol. Meaning of equal symbol? Attribute. What is attribute we got? ID, width, border, cell padding, cell spacing. So we are not worried about all the HTML code. We will be able to see some highlighted one. Able to see highlighted? It's not visible. Huh? So if we take this particular inspect, which this highlighted one is the visible. See the difference. This is like different. This color slight difference will be there. So the highlighted one is our required code. We are not worried about remaining all the things here. Now we can see that. What is a tag name we got? What is the tag name? Input. What are the attributes we got? Name. After that, type. After that, class. After that, index. So now we can see here. Having the name option, What is the name option? What is the name we got? TXT username. So going forward, when you're writing with the Selenium code, this is how you will take the name and you will be writing your actual Selenium program. So this is what we need to be understand in a more detail. So that I'll take into tomorrow. So the whole tomorrow session will be taking all these particular things. We'll understand in a very detail. So then we'll be getting started writing our actual programs of the Selenium here. So but take care about all these particular things. See that you are able to access application. Just go through that application. What are all the functionalities are there? Start writing some test cases related to that application. I'll become in a more comfortable. Then we'll take care about this particular object identification. So tomorrow I'll continue on this and then we'll be getting started writing actual program. So take care about the practice here. Okay. Carry on. Thank you.